Okay, so on this question, they're wanting us to solve by the quadratic formula, list the answers separated by commas. Okay, so how do we do it? Let me bring it on down here for us. It's going to be 2t squared minus 3t plus 10 equals 6. Okay, so I'll put it over here, solving t squared and t to the first. How do you solve t squared and t to the first? Well, which is what we have, by the way, right? We have a t squared and a t to the first. What do you do? Step number 1, get a 0 on one side. So here, let me put in the wall of separation, which we need in there. It is. So yeah, the first step then is to subtract 6 from both sides. Because that will cancel these and get a 0, which is what you got to do. And so what does that leave on the other side? Well, 2t squared minus 3t plus 4, right? 10 minus 6 is 4 there. We good to there? All right. So now what are we going to do? So now the second step is to identify A, B, and C. So this is A. So this is A right here, B right here, C right here. A, B, and C are the numbers in front there. Okay. And then we go into the quadratic formula. So it's quadratic formula time. Let's do it. So what's quadratic formula? Write it out here. So it's going to be b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right. And so what do we get? Let's see what we get here. So remember, when we plug into the quadratic formula, we always put parentheses, or any formula, we always put parentheses around the things we're plugging in. So we're going to plug in -3 right there, and -3 right there, etc. So notice there's a negative built into the formula, and then I'm plugging in -3. That a little bit better. Everybody seeing that? Still don't look like I did that. Right, so everybody see that. So there was a negative that was already part of the quadratic formula. And then in addition, I plugged into the B slot, -3. There was a negative coming with B, and there was a negative there as part of the formula built in. And so we got double negatives. That's going to become +3 in a minute, as you know. In here, same thing, plugging in a parenthesis -3 squared minus 4, and then A and C. A is 2, C is 4, all over 2A, and A is 2, like that. All right, let's keep it going. So I'll come down to here. All right, what do we get? The double negative here becomes +3, doesn't it? Right, double negative, +3. And then -3 squared is 9. This of course means -3 times -3, which is +9. Okay, then here it's minus, and then 4 times 2 times 4. I think that's 32. All over 2 times 2 is 4. Like that. 32. All right, let's keep it going. So we get 3 plus or minus, and then 9 take away 32. So I'm just going to use my calculator, and I'm getting negative 23 over 4. Like so. Now, what have we learned about a negative sign inside of a square root? Remember, you can't have a negative inside.
It's imaginary.
Yeah. So negative inside of a root goes outside as I. Remember, you grab that negative, move it out, and put an I right in front of the root. Because, yeah, like Alexander said, it's imaginary. It's not real. You can't take the square root of a negative number. It's not a real answer. So we're going to get imaginary answers here. So let's see what we've got. So we're going to have 3 plus or minus I square root 23 over 4. Does everybody see that? The negative is no longer there. That's what I'm saying here. The negative that was inside the root goes outside as an I. We've done that before. That's what we always do when we have negatives inside of a square root. The negative inside the root goes outside. You grab this, you move it outside as an I. Just like that.
And okay. we still have to separate the plus and the minus, right? So would your equation be 3 plus I square root 23?
Yep, exactly. So now we'll just write the two answers. And so it'll be 3 plus I. Let me do a better job here. Okay. 3 plus I square root 23 over 4, comma. And then 3 minus I square root 23 over 4. Sure enough, there we go. So we just took the plus and minus, and we did the plus and the minus. That's right. So we always finish by writing the plus or minus, which is shorthand notation. We write it longhand. We write the two separate answers, and that's it. We're done right there. We have to type it in just like that. So two new, or one especially new thing happened on this one. When you have a negative inside of a square root, you can't leave it. It comes out as an I because it's imaginary. It's not real. So the negative is no longer in there. It comes out, and you put an I in the front. And then we never leave plus or minus. We always write that as two separate answers separated by a comma. There we go.